Okay, it's Monday, December 19th. This is a pre-opening SPY report. As we start the new week, the pre-market range here between the blue lines is in the kind of the middle of yesterday's bar or Friday's bar, kind of skewing towards the bottom end of that range as we come near the open about 15 minutes to go before trading starts. Ideally, I'd like to see price kind of, well, in the bigger picture, first of all, the weekly chart had a big 3 bar to the downside with a big red ending. So you are expecting the lows of that bar to be taken out sometime this week. And then there's this target here to the yellow line. So that's really in play. The question is, after 4 days in a row, you're going to get continuation, red, 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 all the way down there, maybe to start the session. Start the week. And I guess it's definitely possible. So if we get the nice red opening below the pre-market lows, we'll look to take out last week's low, maybe right out of the gate on Monday. Ideally, though, as I was getting to, I'd like to see more of a rally up in here. Here's a gap between the low of that bar and the high of this bar. Something up here that kind of moves to the, not to the midpoint of last week, but somewhere up into last week's bar that fails and then rolls over to the downside. Those are going to be the best signals in terms of continuation and momentum. I think any trades here, might just take out some various stops or various targets along the way and not really have the momentum to the downside after all this move. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Again, the bias definitely to the downside. I'm not going to play anything to the upside unless you got a kind of a green bar above. Well, if you get some kind of green bar to start here, maybe we could be above the midpoint of the prior day and at least target that high and into that gap. So you could play a green opening here and then look to target this top and see if we fail there or follow through a little higher, into this gap area up in here. But it tends to, we're definitely biased to the downside. So I'd also enjoy kind of a green bar that can't make it up there and then have a green to red kind of move to then take out this low and then eventually, the lows of the week. So we're just going to have to see how things open. Bias to the downside in the big picture. I could see after a little exhaustion playing the upside, but not too long. The best signals would be ideally if we could rally a little bit in some form, whether it's today or tomorrow, and then roll over as the week comes to an end. But I definitely, expecting the lows of this week to be taken out. It's just a question of do we do it here on Monday or later in the week? And I could see continuation lower with a lot of targets down here on the weekly chart. So the trend definitely down. So it's just a question with this exhaustion possibility to the downside. Are we going to pause a little bit before building a little more momentum to the downside?